Hello, high school student families. I am going to try and make this video as short and sweet as possible, even though it has such exciting and big news. My previous recording was 10 minutes, so we're keeping this one. My goal is under 3, so I'm just gonna dive in. If you saw the new fall/winter schedule that is out, if you haven't, go back, click on it, look at it so you can see. It's super important, but if you've looked at it, then you know that there are some dramatic differences and changes for this coming year, and it is for the best possible reason. If you didn't know this, we had 6 leaders that worked in student ministries with us, and through COVID and even a little after, those leaders have moved away, some to med school, some to Texas for new jobs, but they all have moved away. And while I definitely need and want leaders, I've been very protective of your students. Your students, in fact, were the ones that when I stepped into student ministry, I stepped into ministry with these students while they were in high school. And so I love them and I have this like protection for them. And so with that said, yes, I could bring in any leaders, but I've been very protective of who we bring in because I want them to be here consistently. And I'm excited to report that we have 6 to 8 new leaders that are about to come in as high school leaders. And I'm especially excited to tell you that these leaders are young adults. They're college age, which means that they've been through high school, but it hasn't been so far away that they can't relate. They are peers for your students. And what I've learned in high school ministry or in middle school ministry, having high schoolers lead, is that I could give the best message of my life and those middle schoolers will not remember it. But if a high schooler gets up and says something simple, those middle schoolers remember it because it's their peers. And the same for high schoolers when it comes to young adults. And so we've got a team. And so on the schedule, you will see that there are 3 weeks at the start of September where we have no high school ministry. And yes, that feels like a bummer. We always want to see our students and meet with our students, but there's a really great reason for that. And that is that we are going to be training our new leaders. Instead of just throwing them into the fire and having them figure it out on their own, I want to fully prepare them, and I want us to work together for the kickoff of high school ministries. And so we're going to be working through this book called Lead Small that teaches these leaders how to show up for students. Yes, on Wednesdays, but how to show up for them all through the week. That it's not just a Wednesday, hey, great to see you, but it's talking to them all through the week. It's showing up for their play that they're in or for a game that they're in, whatever that looks like. It's showing up for their life and for caring for them. And also it's being consistent. And so these leaders have committed to at least the next full year of being here with your students, and most likely longer. And so for the 3 weeks, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be training. We're going to be building up the relationships as leaders so that we all have one goal, and that's to pursue Jesus and make sure he's known to all students, and that even as a team, they can love each other and know each other, because that shows around students as well. So that's what that looks like. And then once we get into student ministries, you will see on the schedule that it says big gathering. And when it says big gathering, that means that it's a night where we have worship, we've got games, we've got a message, we'll have food and hang out. It's just going to be this big hype type night. And so those are what big gathering stands for. When you see group gathering, what that means is that week we'll show up, we'll hang out for a little bit, maybe play some games, but then we're going to split up into life groups, and we're going to go deeper into what the message was the week before that. And the reason I'm so excited for this and why I'm adamant that we change up how we used to do things is because what I've seen in COVID world is that our students are dying for and desperate for and need relationships. In fact, that's why all summer we've just done hangouts, because students just want to be around each other and hang out. And that's what this is. And so the group gatherings are going to be every other week, and it's going to be with their new leaders. I'll be around. Again, they'll all get to see each other, but then we'll get into groups and dive deeper. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to answer them. But mostly, I hope that you can be as excited for this new view and look of student ministries, because I know that God is going to do crazy things with deep, real relationships. So if you can be praying for that, I would love that. So yeah, we'll start that schedule. We've got movement tonight, and then we move on, and we'll have a couple weeks off for your students to get into the routine of school and for our leaders to start preparing. And then we'll have a massive kickoff on September 29th. The Wednesday before that, September 22nd, is going to be just a hangout, and students are going to get to come and meet all the leaders, and we'll hang out, we'll play games, we'll give vision for what the year looks like. And then again, the 29th is that huge kickoff. There's going to be prizes. It's going to be like so high energy, and I can't wait to see your students there. All right, thanks for taking the time to listen.